Well, now to our other big story, the fallout of the Roe v. Wade ruling. In a 5-4 vote yesterday, the Supreme Court has overturned 50 years of case law that served as the basis for legal abortions in the U.S. What it means? In some states, abortion bans are already in place. Others have what are called trigger laws designed to take effect after this ruling to ban abortions in the near future. Now, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, Friday's ruling instantly became one of the most historic court rulings of our lifetime. Some people woke up in a state that now has an abortion ban, leaving people scrambling for access. Washington, Oregon, and California have responded with a plan to ensure women can come to the West Coast for abortion services. Now, Governor Inslee spoke today detailing protections for anyone who does travel to our state for an abortion. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling spent the day in Olympia and breaks down what that means for Washington.
Governor Inslee said Saturday morning that he'll be asking legislators to pass a constitutional amendment to further protect women in Washington state.
That is why we have to stand strong, and we will make Washington state a sanctuary state for the right of choice.
Governor Jay Inslee and other lawmakers spoke before a crowd of more than 100.
These restrictions are not based on science nor medicine.
I am here today not only as a legislator, but as one of the 1 in 4 women who have had an abortion.
Many still reeling from Friday's announcement that abortion was no longer a constitutional right.
Well, we just have to channel that rage. And there was a lot of rage and distress yesterday, and we're going to find our way through this.
Madeline Moss and Lorraine Brilliant say they came to the Capitol for their children and grandchildren.
Ultimately, the big issue is the Equal Rights Amendment, and that women in this country do not have equal rights. We behave and we think as though we do, but we don't. And yesterday we were shown that just like that, something so vital is removed.
It is absolutely an equal rights issue. It's also, I mean, it's an every different disenfranchised person who's not a wealthy white male issue at this point.
We will have a constitutional amendment, and I can't guarantee that it'll pass, but if we elect enough people who believe in the right of choice, it will, and that's what we're calling for.
Governor Inslee says he'll be calling for an amendment to the state constitution and using every resource under the law to defend the right of choice, privacy rights, and safety.
To start that effort, next week I will be issuing an executive order to the Washington State Patrol not to cooperate in investigations of other states that would violate the Roe v. Wade decision.
He says legislation will also be needed to make the rule apply to all law enforcement agencies statewide, and they'll be looking at other gaps in privacy laws that may need to be filled in order to protect patients. He says lawmakers will also look to prevent unnecessary hospital mergers that would reduce access, and the state will ramp up funding to hire more medical personnel to handle more patients.
Abortion is common and essential health care and safe.
The governor says there is also an alliance with Oregon and California to magnify each state's effectiveness.
If somebody tries to sneak around our law in one state, we advise our colleagues of a way to defeat that. We want them to know there's a wall in the West Coast protecting the women of the West Coast and the citizens that come from these other states.
Dr. Berry says they'll be training people in the state to eventually help with the influx of patients that's expected. Reporting from Olympia, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.